Hello, welcome to another episode of this little show that I like to call Spill It. Spill It is a show where I get to speak to inspirational people and share some inspirational stories to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. My name is Marcus, and I'm going to be keeping you company for the next few minutes whilst we wait for our special guest this evening to come into the Spill It fold into the Spill It show. They're waiting currently in the green room, and they will be out shortly because this is episode 70. There's been 70 episodes. That is mad. More on that in a minute. But this is episode 70, When Life Gives You Lemons, and the amazing Dave and Laura will be joining us at 7:10 p.m. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. If you haven't checked out the other episodes yet, then you can do. All you ever have to do is head over to the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk, and you'll be able to see every single episode that we have done here at Spill It with some amazing guests all the way back in season 1, back in June 2020, up until now. And if you wanted to check out the podcast, so, you don't always have to listen to this, on the kitchen side, leaving your phone on the kitchen side. Some people have lives, some people are busy. You can just listen to this on a podcast. So say, for example, you want to go running. I don't know why you want to go running and listen to me, but if you want to go running and listen to me, then you can do. Or if you're driving around in your car, then you can listen to the Spill It podcast. And all the links for the Spill It podcast are on the website, amongst other things as well, like links to leaving me a review. Hint, hint, leave me a review, 5 stars only. And also you can join the Spill It Patreon. That's growing more and more as well. You can join the Spill It Patreon over there, and also you'll be able to buy merch. All of that and more over on the Spill It website. One more time for you. That's www.spillit.uk. Make sure that when you come into the Spill It live right now, you are dropping a comment, you are leaving a like, and you are sharing as well. If you like and share, it means that the Facebook algorithm and YouTube algorithm and Twitch algorithm, the places that we're currently streaming to, they go, oh, this is watchable content. Let's push it right up there and let's get it out to more people. Let's do that. Let's keep Spill It growing bigger and bigger. And also, when you drop a comment, it means that you are part of the conversation. You are part of this Spill It stream right now. You can ask me questions, you can ask my guest questions every single week. So please leave a comment as soon as you come in here and just come and say hi. I love reading your comments anyway throughout the lives. And obviously, most important, hit that share button. It also means that obviously when you hit the share button, people who are on your wall, or people who might not necessarily know what Spill It's all about, they get to join the fun. They get to join this, and maybe there's an episode that we'll do in a few weeks, and they'll be like, "Do you know what? That I really want to know about." And so, therefore, the Spill It community grows. We're all teacups here, and I want more teacups in this community. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. It is my time to talk. It is tea time, ladies and gentlemen. Tea time's here. That is right. It is tea time. Now, this is a section where I get to talk my tea. I get to spill my tea for all of you lot out there. I get to talk about the things that I want to talk about, because my guests get like 30 minutes of talking whatever they want to talk about. This is my time. I get to talk to you guys about what I want to talk about. Well, this is my tea for today. It's a little bit batty out there, ladies and gentlemen. I found a news article from a couple of days ago, actually. This is from New Zealand. Hi, people, by the way, who are listening to this on the podcast in New Zealand. I know that you guys have been listening intently to my episodes as well for the last few months. So welcome to the Spill It community. But this news article was actually, I found this one, and it is about New Zealand. So, guys in New Zealand, if you are listening to this, make sure you drop me an email and let me know your thoughts about it. Was this like a massive news headline for you? I think it's absolutely hilarious. So New Zealand, the Bird of the Year, so they have a Bird of the Year award. which I find is like absolutely crazy. But yeah, Bird of the Year controversy after the contest is won by a bat. So this year's Bird of the Year competition, I still can't get over the fact that there's a Bird of the Year competition, but there you go. This year's Bird of the Year competition saw an unlikely winner capture voters' hearts. The inclusion of a bat has proven to be a controversial choice, but a success for those pushing to get more attention for the mammal in serious trouble. So a tiny bat made an unexpectedly big impact by winning an annual Bird of the Year competition in New Zealand. Yeah, so there's basically a bat in New Zealand who is, so I'm assuming the Bird of the Year contest, they've opened it up and they've now included bats. I don't know why, because bats aren't birds. You know, they're a completely different species. But yeah, this bat has now won. It's a long-tailed bat. I'm going to put pictures of this bat winning this contest over on my Instagram. So make sure you check that out. It's Spillit_Marcus, and the link for my Instagram you can find on the website as well. But yeah, this bat has essentially won this competition of the Bird of the Year, which I just find mind-blowing. Guys, if you have got any comments on this, please let me know. I want to know like what your thoughts are about a bat winning a Bird of the Year competition. And also, as I said before, people in New Zealand, if you are listening and you have got opinions on this Bird of the Year competition and a bat winning it, please let me know. Drop me an email, marcus@spillit.uk, and I'll read it out on the show as well. But I think it's absolutely mental. It made my day. As soon as I saw that article, I was like, yes, Mr. Bat, well done. Anyway, that was the funniest article I could find. And it did literally just make my day. So I had to share it with you guys. And also, the website is being updated to have all of my November guests. Now, for those people who don't know what this means, or this might be their first time listening to the podcast or watching the show this evening, essentially what you can do on the website is there's a section on there where you can see what's coming up. So you can see all upcoming episodes for the full month. Yes, that's right. I book my guests in advance. So nobody's just like, winging it and just jumping on whenever they can. I book my guests months in advance. And essentially what I do is that with the website, I update them week by week so you can see who is up on the Spill It Show for the full month. So the website's currently being updated. You'll see all of my lineup for November. I can't believe we're in November. That is mental. But you'll be able to see the full lineup of my November guests on the website. And there's also a little button at the bottom where you can click and you can be directed straight to the guests. So whether it be their social media platforms, whether that be their websites, but it's your chance then to be able to connect with the guests. So you'll be able to see the photo of the advert saying, this is who's coming up. You'll see a brief of who they are, what they do, and what they're coming on to the Spill It Show to talk about. And then underneath, there'll be a button that says connect with guests. And you'll be able to click on that, go and speak to the guests that I've got. And that's including some of like the bigger guests that we've had. I mean, for example, last year we spoke to Vinegar Strokes from RuPaul's Drag Race UK. We spoke to Vinegar Strokes and there was a link so you could go straight into her. You could slide right over there into her DMs and you could just ask her any questions. This year, obviously, we had Joey Kramer, massive hero of mine, Joey Kramer from Flight of the Navigator. He had his little button at the bottom and it went straight over to his website and you could connect with him. So yeah, make sure that you go and check that out. It is on the Spill It website. One more time for you. That's www.spillit.uk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and all of us in between, was my tea for today. Okay, my guests have been patiently waiting in the green room, ready to come out. I've seen them bobbing away to the music that was just playing then as well. The brilliant orchestra music there. They've been waiting patiently. It is their time to shine. So please, can you give a nice, warm Spill It welcome to my special guest for this evening? It is Dave and Laura. Hello, Dave and Laura.
Hello, Marcus. Thank you for having us. What a pleasure.
It's so nice to see you both. Thank you so much for coming on the show and wanting to share your story. It's going to be an absolute treat. I've been following your story for a while, and it's definitely one that I wanted to share on this platform. So I'm really hoping that you enjoy your experience here on the show. Are you ready though? Because my guests absolutely love this section. Are you ready to play a little game with me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Always up for a game.
Good. It is a nice, easy game. It's just a little icebreaker for you. It is this or that. That's right. This is the game This or That. It is a nice, easy game to play. Essentially, all you have to do is choose this or that. It is as easy as that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can both play. And guys at home, when you are watching this live, make sure that you are flooding those comments with your this or that as well. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, obviously I can't see what you're choosing this or that, but feel free to play along as long as, you know, if you're in the car, you know, paying attention to the road as well. But make sure that you play along. Okay, let's start. I can't wait to see like any disagreements that you guys might have. It's really, really funny. But your first question, I'll ask 10 questions. Your first one is science or maths?
Science.
Science. Wait.
Oh. I have to disagree. It's maths all the way for me. Maths is a universal language.
I get to 8 and I struggle after that. Counted to 8. Done.
Breakfast or no breakfast?
No breakfast.
I agree with that one. Unless I'm like massively hungover, then I have to have breakfast. Unless I sleep through it, of course.
But what we should say actually is, as healthy dancers, we always have a well-rounded breakfast every morning. Yes,
we do. People know as well that I also dance outside of doing this, and I have breakfast every day. White bread or brown bread?
White.
Yeah, I agree. Baked potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Oh, mashed.
Neither.
What do you mean neither?
Chips. Roast potatoes. Roast potato. Yes.
I'm gonna stick with mashed potatoes for me. Like always, mashed potatoes.
Not gonna lie though, definitely just had mash before.
Nice. I was gonna make mash earlier. I was gonna make sausage, beans, and mash because that's like a triple combo. Like
we got these sausages, super spicy hot sausages. They actually were like, I was crying. I was actually crying. They were that hot. Yeah.
Love it. I'm gonna have to get myself some. I love spicy food. French fries or burger?
Burger and French fries.
Can I have both, please? I don't want to get rid of one. I love it. Taco Bell or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
You're only saying that because have you actually had a Taco Bell?
No,
exactly. I've had a Taco Bell. So they have one in Manchester in the Arndale Centre. Shout out to the Arndale Centre there. But they have one in the Arndale Centre. It is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life, like ever. So yeah, I have to go with that.
Okay. I have to give it a go.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to go. And next time you're in Manchester, head over to the Arndale Centre and get yourself a Taco Bell. Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Yeah. Pringles or Doritos?
Doritos.
The pop one. Pringles.
The pop one.
The pop one.
Oh, well, now we know why Dave's choosing Pringles. He loves the pop.
But that is true though as well with the Pringles. Like, how many times have you had Pringles and you've not been able to like walk away from them?
I think it's like so thin. You're like, I need more. I haven't had enough.
I think like with Doritos, like if you get like a big bag of Doritos, you can have like a few and then you just like roll it up and then put it away. I could get a big tube of Pringles and I will demolish that big tube of Pringles in one sitting. Like I'll be watching a film or something, they'll be gone before the trailers are finished. Like, yeah. Chocolate milk milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Yeah, I don't think anybody eats dark chocolate and can legitimately say they like it. I think anybody that says that they are, they're just lying to themselves.
Yeah, yes, amen.
Plane or train?
Plane.
Plane.
The destination's got to be more exciting on a plane than a train, hasn't it?
That's true. Although you would see more. Well, would you see more or less on a train? You see it closer on a train than I guess you would on a plane.
I think you would see. I don't know. I think realistically, I'm only going by the times that I've been on a plane. I don't really look what's outside. I think I look outside the window when it's taking off. If I'm on a window seat, I look at it all when it's taking off, and then when we get to like a certain altitude, I'm like, right, I'm bored now. Let's watch a film, and then I just kind of watch a film until I get there. I'm done now. That's me done. And then I watch the descent, like just to make sure that everything's okay. So but I think with the train, I think I sit more looking, like I sit out the window, like look. I don't sit outside of the window. That's weird. But I sit looking outside of the window, like for a long journey. I would do that, I think. But yeah. And
we are lucky in Lancashire. We have some really beautiful scenery on some of our train journeys, actually.
Yeah, definitely in Lancashire, like 100%. Like the greenery. I love anything that's green. That's weird.
We all love the green.
Quickly moving on.
Black or white?
Oh.
These are colours, by the way, as in colours. Just to clarify.
I've actually just painted my man cave all black, like roof and ceiling is all black.
Oh,
nice. So it's got to be black. And my new car is black. It's got to be black.
Yeah,
all day black.
I go for black.
I wear so much black. Like if I go into my wardrobe, everything's black or like dark grey. Like there's no white in there whatsoever. And then we've got last one: Chinese or Italian?
Chinese,
yeah.
But then Chinese, if it's like the treat meal, but Italian on a more regular basis.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I get that. Like I could easily just eat a slice of pizza like every day, but then a nice treat is a Chinese, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I know it's this or that, and there's me like fully explaining. But...
yeah, you're like thinking way too much into this. You're like going proper deep, like philosophical. Like, oh, I need to be. This is like life or death situations, and I need to choose one. It's like you literally think that, like, in reality, we're going to actually take something away from you, which is absolutely genius.
Yeah.
And I absolutely
I know he's
love
asking me plane or train, but what does he actually mean by plane or train?
What's he up to?
Do I win something? Is this what it is? Are you going to award me a holiday? Like, do I go to Scotland or do I go to Mallorca? I love it. Oh, I can't wait. This episode is going to be absolutely mint. I'm really looking forward to it. That, ladies and gentlemen, was This or That. Okay, that was This or That. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good fun. Really good fun.
It's definitely good fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I've not laughed like that in a long time. But I obviously know you guys. We've chatted before. However, my viewers and listeners at home may not even know who you are, which is completely bizarre. I mean, you know, they've been living under a rock. But for those people who do not know who you are, who the heck are you?
Who the heck are you? I'm Dave. Sorry, I had to carry on with the same kind of level. My name's Dave, and I'm a dance artist based up in the Northwest, doing my thing, busting my move, and sharing the love for dance as much as I can. And I'm here with my partner in crime today.
So I'm Laura. And Dave and I trained together to become dance artists at UCLan. So we've been friends for about 10 years, which is how we kind of end up working together now. And no, just can't get rid of him, right? But anyway, I try and shake him off. He's always just there. But anyway, not true. Love you. So we've done a lot of different projects together. We've run cabarets together before. We've done lots of little one-off things. We've worked for the same organisation. So I did work for Dance Syndrome. Dave still works for Dance Syndrome. Just lots of connections along the way. We've had lots of trial and error and lots of different business ideas. But it feels like this one's the one that is really coming from our hearts, I think. Well, mainly Dave's, but I'll let him tell you more about that.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're completely right. I feel like all the other projects before have helped build what this project is, or what this has become, what this company has become. And at the moment, it feels like it's like a really mysterious thing, like this company. What is this? So just to give reference to people, we set up a company called LemonDANCE, and it's all about empowering individuals that may be struggling with mental health and well-being, or maybe isolated, a place where people can reconnect, and communicate, but we do that through using dance. Now that went from being all mysterious to quite deep and meaningful. But the idea is that it's just a fun place to come and learn some dance, meet people, learn new skills, and just realize that maybe we're not so alone, because I know sometimes that in this world we can feel alone even when there's so many people around us. So it's a place for people to just come and share how they might be feeling, but they don't have to necessarily talk. They can show us in a dance, which is just something different and unusual, I guess. Yeah.
I love that message as well. Like the fact that like you don't have, you're not on your own. There is a community out there for you to go to, and be amongst like-minded people who enjoy the same thing and obviously can express themselves and their feelings through dance. My question though would be, why is it called Lemon Dance? It seems a bit random that it's called Lemon Dance.
You're completely right. It is really random, but it does stem from somewhere. But to someone who just hears you, like, what? So 3 years ago, there was I feel like the news was reporting a lot on male suicide and male mental health and just this massive decline. It's always been there throughout history and things, but there just seems to, about 3 years ago, there was just this, it was just on the news all the night, young men killing themselves, or committing suicide. And this one night, I will get to why it's called Lemon Dance. This one night, there was a story of this young dancer lad who killed themselves, and he'd written in his diary, I'm sure, that he'd done so because he'd felt alone. And I just sat there, I was like, just cried, and I felt so useless and just kind of like, what could I do? So I thought, I can do dance. I can dance. I'll set up a male dance club, a dance group that could give someone like him a chance to share how he might have been feeling. But so from that, we kind of developed and grew, and other people were feeling the same. And that's how LemonLADIES came about as well, and Let's Dance, because it's something that's really important to me, is that I don't become exclusive. So it's not just men who are facing poor mental health or have mental health issues or anything like that. Women have the same, but obviously it wouldn't be the same for me to run a women's group and be like, women, do this, do that. So that's where our relationship, mine and Laura's, and we spoke and we had that conversation. So anyway, I waffled because I lost my point because I was getting a little bit upset there. But the lemon, so on this evening of that story, I got upset and I went into the kitchen, and there was this lemon in the corner of the room, and it was just bright yellow, and it just it almost just snapped me out of how I was feeling in that moment. It was bright, it was colourful, and it was, well, let's just do LemonMEN. And that's where LemonMEN came from. And then LemonDANCE grew because we want people to share the power of dance. So lemon and dance. And it to me personally, it's the complete opposite of what depression is. And that grey, to see this big bright lemon, that's where it comes from. Sorry, that got a bit deep. Laura.
But it's not deep. It's right. Well, it is deep, but you're right in what you're saying, and I think that the beauty in what you captured, because it came from the heart. I think the men that got involved in that first few sessions really felt that, and it allowed them to kind of take ownership of that safe space a little bit and know that they were on a journey with you, that you weren't actually coming in and going, this is how you're going to deal with your mental health. It was just, here's a space, it's a safe one. We don't want to talk, although we can talk if you want to talk, and you've done walks and all sorts based on what the guys have wanted to do. But let's just move through it. Let's use creativity, let's use tasks. Let's look at the words of these emotions and see how we can put that into a movement that might make us feel it out, really. And it's grown organically from that. And that's why, so they've got connections with women who wanted, like Dave said, he wanted to do a class. And then between those two sessions, we were always responding to what the people who were involved want to do. So LemonLADIES, even in the short time it's existed, has really changed. It's gone from an online session, like at one point we were all learning the cha-cha slide for a bit of fun, and then it turned into more of a meditative session. We were doing, quite deep meditations and body scans and tuning in with our bodies, and maybe a little bit of movement if that happened. And at the minute they're really looking at creative tasks and choreography and looking at how we can do that. So it's constantly shifting based on what people are asking for, what they say they want to work on. And that's when Let's Dance kind of came out of that, the mixed session, because it ignited this passion within people, and they wanted more, and they wanted to take it more seriously. And they're like, actually, I want to come and do a full hour and actually dance and learn some new skills. So it's all just grown really organically, and we've just kind of gone with it. But I think that comes from it really this moment where Dave kind of had this light bulb moment, or lemon moment, this bright moment, and really came from the heart and really opened that safe space up, and that's really been the key to unlocking for what the people we've worked with. A lot of them tell us it absolutely makes their week, and got something to look forward to. And I'm doing it now.
It sounds so good, and obviously there's a couple of things obviously you've mentioned which I want to touch on. So obviously the name is LemonDANCE. Obviously I can see it on your t-shirt, Dave. It's called LemonDANCE, and there's obviously the name there, but you've mentioned the fact that it's not just dance, that you've obviously been doing other activities. Would you be able to just talk about some of the other activities that you've done, and other activities that people would be able to expect?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was as part of a fundraising campaign, so we could pay for the space that we were using, and the lads and this is the first kind of activities that we started doing together. The lads and I sat down and we were like, what could we do? And we all and at the time there were 6 of us. So we each put our own idea forward, and me trying to be as inclusive as I could, try to use everyone's idea. But we went for we did the guild. One of the ones was the guild wheel around Preston. So we did 21 miles, all 6 of us in one day around the whole guild wheel, which to some people you might think, oh, that's really easy, but I found it really difficult, and I would consider myself quite fit and healthy, and I think when you take into consideration some of the disabilities and challenges that these men were facing at the time, they absolutely smashed it, and we did that. We tend to go off to locations like Avon Park or Miller Park, and we'll just go, it sounds daft, but go for a photo shoot. And I'll be like, we're not going to do any dancing. We're going to go and just take some photos and just have a laugh. And we'll literally just, the hours, instead of having a dance session, we'll just have an hour walk around the park and then take some posed pictures and stuff like that, and just have a laugh and chat. We've done it was really cute. We did a barbecue where everyone bought something, and then we just did a little bit of dancing for the parents and stuff that were there. And then but yeah, just ate food together, and just and that's something that we're really keen about doing, is not just being about the dance all the time. It's about creating those more experience, and more of like it sounds cheesy, but that kind of family connection, that kind of bit that you're not just giving someone a fiver to do a dance class, or in our case it's free, but they're getting more than just a dance. They're getting that kind of experience to go out and do other things which they might not have normally done, and to push and challenge themselves, which is something I'm always trying to do if we can, but where they're comfortable. Obviously, I don't want to put anyone in that kind of
but
yeah,
it's all kind of giving them the whether it's the strength or the knowledge, or to go off and do their own things as well, which is the really beautiful thing that's come out of this. So it's not just, you know, we've got those stories of people that have unlocked their confidence and have never performed before but perform with us. You've got all of that, but they're going off and doing their own performances. So there's a few who set up their own little company, and they did a pantomime performance at Chorley Little Theatre for friends and family, and they did that totally on their own backs without us. Just made connections within the session, and then went off and took it further outside of it. And that's the stuff I live and breathe for. Like, I love to think that you can just plant that seed and you leave that legacy. It's there forever. Then that you've sparked that passion in someone, they've clicked that they've got something they can actually do that gives them joy, and that, you know, that's enough. I love that stuff. Yeah, I'm constant, you know, maybe I give away a bit too much sometimes in that way, because I'm just keen to be like, you take that, you have it, I'll leave you to it, like, you know. But yeah, it's really great. These guys I've seen in such a short space of time, even since just starting with LemonLADIES, which wasn't that long ago, just over a year ago, was it now? Something like that.
Yeah.
Already seeing huge leaps with people, and it's just amazing. And it really is a testament to that safe environment that I say you've built, but he'll go, well, we've built it. So okay.
No, you're right. We have built it. But no, it's amazing.
You mentioned before about the fundraising things that you've done, and I think you mentioned it as well. The dance sessions that you've done are free. So obviously this does answer my question, but I just want you to go into just a little bit more detail. So from what I gather, you have got fundraising, or you've done fundraising, sorry, to help pay for the space that you've got, and then the sessions are free. Is that right?
Yeah. So something that myself and Laura have always been really passionate about is that we do believe that dance should be paid for, but there's plenty of organizations with big money that can pay for that dance. People who are on job seekers allowance, it's not even called that anymore, on PIP, or you know what I mean, or who are on government payments, or people who are just struggling on full time and got kids, they can't afford to go out and go to a dance class, so they're unlikely to be doing their form of exercise or something like that. So to us, we think it should always be free to a participant to be able to join, so that it's that barrier, that access to barrier. There's a term.
Barriers,
there's a fancy
barriers to access.
Yeah. So just not having that barrier. So because for already some people it's difficult enough to get out of bed, so to come to a dance class and then have to pay for that to put themselves in that situation. No, for me, there's plenty of ways dance could be paid for without asking the participants to foot that bill. Don't get me wrong, though. If they want a T-shirt, they can buy their own T-shirt. But the dance itself should be quality, and if possible, where possible, it should be free. And
there's enough barriers to it already without cost being one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
And we don't need to get into how the arts are being stripped and there's just no importance placed on them, and how, you know, this arts, it inspires creativity, which doesn't happen that often in our children these days, and that's going to create our future inventors and entrepreneurs, and that all comes from creativity. It's a very bleak future without the arts, but I will go on and on about that all day. And as well, like you touched on, Dave, at the minute, I mean, what the government will tell you is the goalpost for someone living in poverty is not realistic. And far more people who are working full time and not relying on benefits are living in poverty. I mean, the universal credit's dropped, energy prices have doubled at the minute. We're in a dire situation. And if we can just find a way to, I mean, sometimes it means we have to work that little bit harder. We're doing those extra bids. We're doing that extra bit of fundraising. We're looking for those organisations that might give us 500 quid or a grand here and there that we can apply for quickly because, you know, we work jobs as well. This is something we do outside of our everyday jobs. And it's a very fine balancing act. But we should be the ones to be putting that work in, not, you know, not the people who want to come along to try and find that fiver. We can do a bit of that. And we're lucky we have another director, Sean, who comes along and supports us in lots of events, and he will do a lot of our funding bids for us. And then I work in a position where I get a lot of pots that cross my desk. I end up seeing a lot of different funding pots that are out there, so I can kind of go, oh, these ones will work. So between us, we're quite well placed. I mean, that's not. You'll speak to so many dance organisations that I can hear them now going, you can't live that, it's not sustainable. And no, it isn't. But what we've got to keep doing is talk to the people who hold the purse strings, making them realise the importance of this work, making them realise the importance of paying for it. You know, social prescribers are getting put in place. They're learning more and more how to do that all the time. And if we start talking to people like the social prescribers, there's some money there to get people into these classes if they're in touch with them. And it's about having those conversations, keep chipping away at that, and hopefully we won't have to one day keep sustaining it by £500 and £1,000 bids and constantly working and running that hamster wheel. But right now, that's what we'll do if it means that we can keep it free for participants.
Amen. Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that, and it resonates so much with like my core beliefs and what I believe in and things like that. I mean, it's no secret that people who know what I do outside of everything else that I do. So one of the things that I do is I run a dance exercise class, and it's not just a dance exercise class. It is a mental health check-in center as well. So people can come along to the dance exercise class, and then they can have like a one-to-one coaching session with myself. But I have prided myself, and obviously for yourselves, it's completely different. And I have to charge because obviously the rent. However, I've prided myself on keeping the lowest price that I possibly feasibly can, because I've always been under the impression that you shouldn't have to pay to have fun and to have that support network and to build that community up. Like, you shouldn't have to pay out of the ear for that. And there's been many other, I won't say the names, but there's other dance exercise classes and sessions and stuff that charge you so much money just to go and have, and they advertise, oh, you're coming to have fun. And it's, well, I'm having to pay like £5, £6, £7 to have, like, for an hour's worth of that fun. And I've like tried to keep it as low as I can. One of the things that I did, which I won an award for, was during the first lockdown, and obviously and thereafter, I moved all of my sessions online, and I wanted it to be an accessible platform. There was other organizations who were charging people to go onto a Zoom session, and I went onto Facebook Live because I knew it was free and that people could just jump on and they could do 15 minutes if they wanted to. They could do a half an hour. They could do the full hour, but it was free, and it was a way for people just to be active at home during the lockdown. And that's where my core beliefs are, that things like that are as important as this should be easily accessible, and they shouldn't have that massive charge. It should just be easily accessible to absolutely everybody. I mean, Spill It is another thing. This little platform that I've got here, I do this and I don't pull any money from it whatsoever. You know, it's not like people have to charge to come and watch Spill It or whatever. But it's giving people that opportunity to talk about the things that they need to talk about. But then also for the viewers and the listeners at home, they're experiencing something new. The 3 core pillars of Spill It are to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. And I want that to be free and accessible to absolutely everybody. If I pull no money from this whatsoever, which, you know, I don't, people think like I make absolutely thousands upon thousands of pounds doing this, and I don't. Like, it's not like that whatsoever. But I do this in my own free time because I want to give people that opportunity to learn something. And maybe if it helps one person then I've done the job. And I'm sure that you guys feel the exact same. Laura, you touched on it then, like, you know, that whole where you feel like you have inspired somebody, that is enough to keep you going. And I'm exactly the same with that. And I can't commend you enough, like both of you, for the things that you do, especially with LemonDANCE. It's absolute, you are two little godsends. So yeah, thank you for like absolutely everything that you do, because it's brilliant. Have either of you done anything like this before?
I think that yes and no. That's difficult because I think all the separate aspects of what it is we have done, but never all at the same time before. So it kind of feels familiar, but actually it's completely different. I don't know whether you feel that way, Dave.
No, I do feel the same, and I feel like since leaving uni, I feel like we've done this type of work for a lot of different organizations, and maybe have been lost along the way through the organization because obviously if you work for a company, then you work for that company. It's that company that gets recognized for the work that was achieved. So I think yeah, we both have done this work. Like we've got the experience required to have this work, but this is now us showing the world that this is what we have been doing almost. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, it definitely does.
We're not in, so I'll take that as a yes.
I think because we've between us, we've gotten quite a really wide range of experiences. So Dave's been working with dance and disabilities for, gosh, I don't know, 7 years now.
Yeah.
Something like that. I started in that, but I moved on to more health settings. So just before I started the job I've got now, I was working in a secure unit, a secure CAMS unit, taking in music, dance, and music, dance, and film, and then running satellite sessions off of that. So working in that real health environment, and I think, and then also doing, you know, the little community projects, the after school clubs, and all that sort of thing. And I think that's what it is when you're doing those projects for other people, you get all that experience, but you only ever get a taste of doing the stuff that you're really passionate about. You'll get a little taste of it, and then you'll have to move on to something else, because ultimately it's not your agenda, it's the organization's agenda. And I'm not saying that they're not coming from a good place, but you know, there's certain things that make you tick, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think that's what feels so different about it now, is we can really just focus on what we're passionate about, which is the people. We just focus on the people. What do you guys want?
Right.
And we'll make it happen.
You mentioned like obviously things that you've done previously with regards to, like, say, after school clubs or whatever. We've not really touched on age ranges for LemonDANCE. You've talked about obviously LemonLADIES, and you've talked about obviously the men's side of things. Is it something that kids are involved with? Have you expanded on that?
Future.
It is future, but it's actually becoming into our present at the moment. In our Let's Dance session, we've just had a young lad join with his dad, and they're just incredible. The energy that they both bring, and you'd expect them to be so close together. They're working on their own, and that. So our age, it's a grey area with the age limit, because we're still learning what the correct procedure is. And just to go a little bit deep into this, I guess, for cross-generational companies. So what happens when, obviously, you've got younger ones with people over 18, and just checking that everyone's safe and secure on that. But as long as I think we're clear and transparent, and we go through that journey as we have done with what we've been doing, then I think we'll be fine with that. Sorry, that was random.
It was another really organic thing, though, because it's something we talked about. We talked about Little Lemons. I mean, that's not definitely going to, but we've talked about it.
Oh, what a good name! I love it.
Because I know I shouldn't have said that, should I? I'm sorry.
It's out there now. It's out there.
Copyright. But no, we talked about, because my background's massively in working with young people, huge. And it just feels like, you know, as soon as you're dealing with people, you're then dealing with their families. And especially if we've got kind of, like you said, Dad, it came around organically because Dad was coming, son wanted to come along, you know, and that, you know, in that dad's got responsibility for the son, and that's okay. If it becomes more and more young people with us, then we're going to have to look at
Yeah. But it's something I am really sorry, just to jump on that. I'm so keen. I would love to have a cross-generational company that's like fully inclusive. That would be the dream. That would be the dream. But the only thing that stopped me from it is the legalities of it and making sure everybody's safe, because obviously that's it. Well, that's it.
And I think, again, you've got to take a view, haven't you? Like you just said, so in LemonMEN and LemonLADIES wouldn't be appropriate to have children in the room, because
I think we could.
People do really open up about, not every week. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not all sat there crying every week and telling everybody our deepest, darkest secrets. But every now and again, really personal things come out. Or, we've created pieces from really personal experiences, and not that that's translated through, we don't tell you that's what that piece is about, but there's a journey that happens there with that person, and it's a very sensitive one. And I think it takes a certain environment. But Let's Dance, I just think I'm with you on that, cross-generational. And it's another barrier for some people. What do I do with the kids for that hour that I want to just come and have a laugh? Bring them and have a laugh. They love it. And I think we forget actually how much benefit there is with young people spending time with adults, and vice versa. So many adults need to remember their inner child. We lose it as we get, well, I haven't ever, and neither Dave, so that's why we do what we do. But a lot of people do, and it's sad. We shouldn't ever totally lose that inner child. We need to embrace it. It helps our mental health massively. So there's huge benefits in that kind of cross-generational work. And I am waffling on now, so
when I can waffle.
Love it. Because obviously one of the things that you'd be able to do, obviously, if you are looking at your younger class, if you will, or your younger sessions, like one of the good things that you'd be able to do, even if you were like not doing it as of yet and it was just an idea that you had, would be to do like workshops and stuff in schools where you'd be able to get like do something, and then maybe if for example there was like an hour that you could do like a little bit of performance, if you will, but then having that one-to-one session with people, or group sessions or whatever, where they come up with their own little stuff and going around schools, because I know that schools would absolutely love something like that. And you like, this echoes back to what you were saying before, Laura, with the arts. Schools need something like this. They need to get people out and about and doing something to do with the arts. But a lot of people in schools, and I'm thinking of the way that I was back in school, or people that I know, and I work with kids at the minute as well, and some of the things that they enjoy doing is they express their feelings through the arts, and to be able to do something like that in a workshop in schools would obviously unlock that potential with them as well. Is that something that you would consider in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would definitely be interested in doing something like that. I know that our conversations have lent more to with the little. Is it being more like a group again? But it actually it does lend itself to be a workshop that could travel through schools. Maybe Marcus has just given us the perfect idea.
You can have that idea for free. I'll let you have that.
Come here again. But no, I think that would be a lovely way to develop it. And then you're not only are we keeping kids active as well, but you're also getting them to talk about the big questions of like mental health and how are you feeling, how can you express yourself. So yeah, I love that. So yeah, we'll do that.
I've got loads of ideas swirling around this head of mine, which we'll discuss off air. But yeah, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, which kind of links very, very well. It's nice. It's a nice little segue. Have you done, or are you going to be doing live events? Like, for example, like not like a flash mob, if you will, but like things like out and about, so then people can see what's going on.
Well, just to jump on not like a flash mob.
We've just did a flash mob.
We've actually just done a flash mob.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
It was great. It was really, we were very nervous about doing it because I think we read an article. It was like, are flash mobs even cool to do anymore? They're so 2000 or something. And we were like, flash mobs are cool. Anyway, no, it was a really lovely and amazing experience. We got to meet so many new faces who came to the. So it was it was a flash mob in association with Lancashire County Council, who gave us some funding to promote this year's World Mental Health Day on the 9th of October. And what we put forward as an idea is that we would run several workshops up until the date, and teach people, whoever wanted to join this session, a flash mob. And then the idea is that we just perform it on the day, and it was just this mass of people all wearing bright yellow on a cloudy October day. Bang, there's just this brightness of joy and happiness, and that is exactly what we achieved. And just we got to meet some new faces. The people who were already interacting with LemonDANCE got to meet other people who were doing, say, just LemonMEN, and it was a really lovely experience. And the feedback that we got from that was just lovely. So yeah, overall it was ace. And talking about future, what's coming up in terms of live events, we have a performance evening coming up on the 30th of November at the moment, but it might be the 31st. We need to double check, just because there's been a slight double booking, but we're going to double check. But it's a live performance evening, and it's going to be the first opportunity for our groups to share as individual groups, but as a collective company, if you will, under the LemonDANCE branding. So the LemonMEN have been working on a piece. The LemonLADIES have been working on something beautiful. Because we've seen the LemonMEN, it's kind of like, oh, we've seen you. I mean, it's still amazing, but we're like, but the LemonLADIES are going to be sharing their first piece, and it is gorgeous. And then our Let's Dance as well, our mixed gender group, are going to be able to mix. But what's lovely about that evening is we've also been able to get some guest organizations to come in. So we've got LPM who are going to come in and share a piece of work that they've done, and a company called Dance Syndrome are going to share have one of their groups are going to come and perform there as well. And then yeah, it's just lovely, and it just kind of again grow organically for having those people involved and engaged in that. So yeah, Laura,
and
go on.
linking into that for future, because I'm going to forget if I don't say it now. Is with the LemonLADIES, we've managed. Well, actually, it was through the flash mob, wasn't it? We've actually managed to build quite a good relationship with the dance course at UCLan, and the reason that is amazing is because I know I was desperate to leave Preston to go to uni. I was desperate. I would have gone anywhere. I just want to get away from Preston. But I wanted to do community dance. And the only course that had anything to do with community within it was UCLan. So I stayed in Preston. But so they've got some third years who are about to do their community project who want to learn more about community dance, because it's something that I didn't know existed for such a long time. You think of dance, you think, well, I'm only going to have a career if I'm a 5, 6, 7, 8 or on a cruise ship, and it's just not the truth. There's such massive health benefits. Won't go on about that. But so their students are getting involved, and they're looking at using it for their community projects. They're learning from it. One of them is testing out some choreography ideas through the LemonLADIES, testing out some tasks and things, seeing if it works the way she's imagining it, but in a safe space, because I'm still there to support. And so future as well, I think for me, and going back to what I was saying before about leaving that legacy, is I'd really like to think that there could be some sort of pathway through in that kind of way, that we can do that for students, that we can. And we're at Plungy, we're right next door. They're at the Media Factory, so we're right there. And I'd like to think that link can just get stronger and stronger, and it can be a bit of a pathway for some community experience.
That's something. Yeah. That's something that we've been quite keen on saying from the beginning as well. If it was possible, is that we make sure that, like, when we get to that place of maybe being able to go out to schools, or it's that. It's not just work for me and Laura, that we can get more artists, more work, more regular current work. So that's something that really excites us both. Laura obviously saying about how that maybe the opportunity to hand over Lemon Ladies, but that's something that I think we really hope for, in that we can maybe, I don't want to say it, but it's kind of like a franchise, I guess, kind of like a mini kind of franchise. And I mean, I guess the dream would be like LemonMEN, London, LemonMEN, Ireland, you know, like LemonDANCE all over the place. But really, the message is just.
I just love that projection in the last few minutes. I'm sorry, we went from talking about immediate future to our fundraiser at the end of November to like big 10-year plan franchise. I love it. There is no limits whatsoever.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, you've mentioned the flash mob that you've recently done. Is there video footage of this that people be able to see?
Yes, there is indeed. You can check out the video footage from our Facebook page and on our website. It is on the website as well. Just at the bottom, if you scroll down on our little gallery, you should be able to find it on the website as well. So yeah, definitely give our Facebook a page. Give our Facebook page a look, because there's so much to look at and see what we get up to, and yeah, just the Facebook page is where we're at. That's where we kind of keep our base at the moment until we're ready to go, right, let's get some more social media platforms on the go. But at the moment, we're Facebooking. So yeah.
For anybody that wants to watch the video of the LemonDANCE flash mob, make sure that you check the Spill It social hub that's over on Facebook, and I'll post a video of that so you'll be able to see it from there. And also, if you are listening to this on the Spill It podcast, wherever you're streaming from, if you just check the show notes, you'll be able to see a link, and that'll take you directly to the video footage, so you can watch the Lemon Dance group do their thing on a flash mob. So make sure you check the show notes for that as well. With regards to, I've got a couple more questions for you, so you're not going anywhere until I finish.
No, this is from the flash mob. We were reliving a moment.
Okay.
I didn't realize how that would look, actually.
Yeah, I thought you were just saying goodbye. So for the listener at home, as I was talking through that section about the show notes and everything, Dave and Laura were both basically like waving their arms, and I thought that they were basically just going to leave, but no, they're still here. You're not going anywhere. One of the questions that I have for you is, how did, because obviously we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm just wondering how the pandemic or how the COVID restrictions and all of that, like how that has affected, or how did it affect your organization?
Well, when COVID hit the first time, we were only running LemonMEN at that point. So what we did, and much like yourselves, and I think a lot of other organizations, we moved to doing the session online. And we the only thing that affected us is that we found online it was harder to keep the attention for as long. We kind of found it a little bit like, I don't know, it was hard at first. We found our stride with it, but no, I think the time was the main thing. But we went online with the LemonDANCE, and that's actually how LemonLADIES started online, which I kind of love. I kind of love that. Because there's another project that I'm doing, and it started online and now has gone to being a physical space session. And I think that's awesome. I personally, like, I know not everyone's like, oh, Zoom. I love it. Like, as soon as it comes on, I'm like, hello. I think I'm on telly. Like, I love it. It's amazing. I love teaching. I love the fact that I can literally be downstairs with my feet up like this, slippers on, and literally 3 minutes run upstairs, put my speaker on, I'm like, let's go, bang, and just start teaching. It's amazing. But no, yeah, we went on Zoom, and then as soon as we could, we started doing some sessions outdoors. So what we did is we went like every other week, we did a session outdoors, and we picked a location each to where like everybody lived. So we got to see a lot of Preston that way. And then it was kind of fair for travel for everyone, because like everyone comes from different places. So it would just make it a bit more fair. And then so we started doing, and then as soon as we could, like literally as soon as we could, we were like, let's get back indoors. We were just like indoors. We were socially distanced, but as soon as we could, we were back in. And it was just amazing. Just amazing. Hope we never have to do that again. Ever.
I mean, it is interesting actually that LemonLADIES and Let's Dance both started online, didn't they? And then came into the physical realm.
The reason why I didn't say Let's Dance is I couldn't remember if we did do any online. We did do it online first.
So we did.
That's the reason why I didn't say. I was like,
we were umming and ahhing about what to do, especially about LemonLADIES, because everybody just kind of came from all over. We had people from Lancaster and Manchester.
Oh yeah, even my mum from Weston-super-Mare.
So then you start to go, oh, if we put this on in a physical space, are we going to have enough people? And actually, we kind of had to, for the very few times, in order to make a decision, that we've took a step back and gone, well, actually, what's best for us to do? How do we think we can be the most effective? And we just thought, you know, let's put it in a physical space. People will come, and that's what's happened. People are traveling from Chorley and Manchester, Blackburn, and it's just great. It's brilliant.
I love that. Yeah, it's great that it's built. Obviously, those two little projects that you had started online, and now look at them. It's so nice to see that, you know, what started in the midst of this pandemic has really grown and flourished into what they are today.
Yeah.
How can people, if they are listening to this at home or they're watching this at home, how can people get involved if they wanted to either participate or even, like, you know, volunteer for yourselves?
So the best way to if a person wanted to join a session, well, actually join or be a volunteer, the best way would probably be straight direct messages on Facebook, or send us an email at hello@lemondance.org, and you can literally just send us an email anytime, and obviously at a reasonable time we'll reply. Because I was on there the other day. I was on our website, and it's really cool. My phone pops up saying someone is on your website, and then I looked, it's like in Texas, America, and I was like, I wonder what they're doing. I was like, I hope they don't message me now, because it was like a really random time in the morning. But yeah. Anyway, message through the messengers.
Facebook Messenger.
Best way is to send
hello@lemondance.org.
That's the best way.
Best way is a Facebook message.
Yeah, and there's just something that I wanted to say. Sorry. What we've done with our with our groups is we're really, really cautious to make sure that the groups are not walk-in. You can't just walk in on the street off a weekly basis and just go, I'm going to join this session, which you may think, oh, that's exclusive, but you have to also think about the mentality and the well-being of the original participants and what that can do. So what we like to do is a person message us and say they're interested in joining the group, so that we can then prep the group already, so they know, and then everybody knows, the new person joining and the group already, that someone might come into the space next week as a new body. And then what we've done with that as well is we've put a cap limit on our sessions. So each session is a maximum of, was it 12 we settled on, or 10? 12. So each session is a maximum of 12, which might sound a lot for some companies and might sound like not a lot to other companies. But what we want to make sure is really important is that it's always user-led, and that you can see every individual, and that every individual feels like they've been seen when they join a session. So that's message us, the short version, and that's the reason why.
And again, for the viewers and listeners at home, if you check the show notes, you'll be able to see the contact information. And also, if you check the Spillit website, www.spillit.uk, you'll be able to find a quick link that takes you directly there as well. So make sure that you check both of those. Well, say, for example, Because this is my last written down question. I've been making notes all the way through, so this is my last written down question for you. But say, for example, because obviously you mentioned the fact that from the get-go that this was all about people's mental health and wanting to do more and support people, etc. What advice would you give to someone who may be feeling quite vulnerable, maybe on their own, especially as we're coming into the winter months as well? As we know, depression rates are the highest and suicide rates are the highest over the winter months because people feel isolated and they feel on their own. And I'm just wondering what advice you would give to people who may be feeling on their own, and what would you say?
I guess for me, I would say just keep trying and keep reaching out. Like if you hit a dead wall or a robot on the phone and that's not what you need, just keep reaching out, just keep trying. Like, and I know that can be what's the hardest thing for some people, is that tiredness and that just, why do I feel like I'm fighting all the time? But just keep fighting, because you will find that right service or that right person to pick up that phone or that service that you join, LemonDANCE, that will help you through what you're going through. So just keep reaching out. That would be my advice.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Connect, because and I think that World Mental Health Day event really raised this for me, is how few members of the public actually know what organisations there are out there to support them. Because it's one thing we are blessed with in Lancashire is a really strong VCFSE organisation. So sorry, voluntary charity faith, and yeah, so we're blessed with a really strong network. So Preston's got Preston Wellfest network, and that's all like recovery organisations. We're part of it. Lancashire County Council run it. Preston City Council support it. There's NHS bods in there. So there are these networks out there, and more from the public sector, there's recognition that they cannot bridge the gaps of health inequalities without relying on these organisations. It's not possible. The money's not there, the resource isn't there, so more and more they're starting to work together, and there are organisations out there who definitely would rather sit and listen to you talk to them about your problems for half an hour, or sit and stare at them and not talk to them if that's what you need, than would hear about you having harmed yourself or something else having happened to you. There are so many people out there who are willing to help, and like I said, they are being supported by the council. I work for a community projects team. Reach out to your local council, your district council or your county council, whoever it may be. They will have this information somewhere. We're lucky here. We've got an organisation called Our Lancashire who list a lot of these groups on their website. So that's a really good directory to kind of go and look on. If you think I'm in this location and I want to sing, you can type those two things in and it'll tell you how many groups are in that kind of area. So yeah, connect. There are so many people out there who can help, and you don't have to always pay for it. And that, I know it's a lot of our services have got these massive long waiting lists, but they're not all means tested in that way. They're not all on a referral basis. There will be something, just look for it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you would like the opportunity to discuss now?
I feel like we've done pretty well, because I'm a good waffler, so we've probably gone everywhere. But I would, I don't know, I'd like to just do like a shout out to my husband, Sean, because he is also the director of this company, and I guess without his support, this wouldn't have got half of wherever it's got to. Because I mean, me and Laura have put our all into it, but he's put a lot of himself into it, all whilst trying to do a master's degree at the same time and having the stress of a full-time job, and me. So yeah, just a shout out to him and just all that he does as well. So that would
yes,
be fun.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean.
And then I believe that you guys have got an event coming up, haven't you?
Yes.
Would you like to spend a few minutes just talking about this upcoming event?
So Dave touched on it earlier, and I think I totally dragged it away to another point. So I'll do this.
So yeah, so it's we've got an upcoming performance evening, and it's on the 30th or the 31st of November. We just need to confirm dates on that one, and it's the opportunity for our groups to share a piece of work that they've been working on. So our LemonMEN, our LemonLADIES, and our mixed gender group will be sharing alongside some external companies that we've managed to come along. get involved, but yeah, so performance evening will be really good.
And I have got a link for the site to buy tickets. So again, if you check the show notes, you'll be able to see the link to buy tickets if you are wanting to go over and support. And that takes us roundabout to the end of the show. Have you had fun today, guys?
Yes.
Lots of fun. I've loved it. It's been really good.
Brilliant. Well, before I let you go, there are a couple of things I need from you. Have you got some final thoughts for my viewers and listeners at home today?
Laura, what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I think for me, it's that connect, reach out, look for these organizations. You know, it might not be dance, it might be something else. But I do want to say, actually, as a final thought, is don't think you can't dance. I'm not going because I can't dance. I've got no rhythm. That is not what we are about. We are creative. We use tasks. We encourage their ideas. And more, I'm having conversations with people to say, you can see they want to offer a movement and they don't think it's valuable. And it always is valuable. It always is. So just come and try and experience it, and it'll blow your mind.
It'll blow your mind. That's perfect. I think my final thoughts are exactly the same. It's easy as that.
It was very well articulated, to be fair, Laura. So.
Great. Perfect.
Now, at the end of every episode, I give my guests the opportunity to give a quote. Now, it can be something that they stand by, live by. It could be something that they've heard that they just really like, or it could be something that they've made up and they think, you know what? This is now how I'm going to live my life. And I'm just wondering if you guys have got a quote for me and my viewers and listeners today, and if you'd be able to expand on that quote and tell us all why that quote is important to you.
When life gives you lemons,
make dance. Yeah, you can tell we definitely didn't rehearse that whatsoever. You were like, and I was like, yes, love that.
As you can see, we're not the coolest kids in class by any stretch of the imagination. Don't feel intimidated. No, but I think Dave actually summed up this really well. It's where it came from. It's where the whole thing came from. Is Dave saw this bright lemon after that moment of darkness and thought, do you know what I can do? I can dance. And that's what I'm going to do for people. And everybody can get something from it. You know, movement is so powerful. And people always say, don't let people tell you that you have to be good at something to do it. Not everything has to become a profession or be put on show. Some things, it's totally fine just to do it for the joy of it. And that can be so powerful.
Yes. Again, you just stop it, Laura.
I'll put myself out the way now.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And it's just this phrase, this little quote, it's exactly what our ethos is. It says exactly what it needs to. When life is hard, just make dance, make shapes, bust it out. You know what I mean? It says exactly what it is, but it's cheeky. And I think I'd love to know where it came from, because I definitely have heard it somewhere else. I'd love to know who made it up, the actual original.
The actual one is when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, isn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like I've heard this one before. Can I just be like, it was me?
I
made it.
You made
just
this
do
up.
it. Just be like, yeah, I did it.
This is mine. These are quotes.
What,
quote
we're going to have
Dave.
someone writing from New Zealand now going, I did this 5 years ago and here's the proof.
I know. Well, we could put it as a find out who made this quote. Where does this quote originate from?
I wonder if we can get a lemon up for Bird of the Year next year.
Hey, there you go. Get a lemon up for Bird of the Year. And guys at home, if you're listening and watching this at home right now, if you can find out like if this quote already exists in the ether, then drop me an email and then I'll share it onwards as well. We can all discuss. But I think you'll be fine. I reckon you could just get away with saying that I made this up. This is
I made this up. This is completely mine. I'm gonna smash it over a load of t-shirts now.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And I love it because obviously if you look at like the lemon as it is, on the inside you might feel a little bit bitter and a little bit sour and a little bit like, because nobody likes the inside of a lemon. Let's be honest, you're not going to just go through it. But like, say for example, like your feelings, like they might be quite icky on the inside. Like you might be feeling quite icky, but on the outside, you can really shine. You can be really, really bright. And also with regards to the lemon, give it a bit of a mixer, and everybody's fine. Everybody's happy. So mix in with other people, mix in with other organizations, other communities, and other people, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah,
I'm totally stealing that though. On the inside, you can be a bit bitter, but on the outside, you can still shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on the website, Dave. Quick.
Love it.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been an absolute treat having you both on. Yeah, I have no words. It's been an absolutely brilliant experience. So yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Nice one. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really nervous like a leaf before, but you eased us in, and it was absolutely perfect. Really love it. I hope the viewers enjoy as well, because and I hope more than anything that we, like you said, if we get to one person, even one person reads this or sees this and passes it to someone, but yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm gonna stop.
Problem.
You can actually do this now.
Yeah, you can do that now because it is now time. And for the listeners at home, they are just repeating the hand movements that they did before to say goodbye. And you are now officially allowed to say your goodbyes.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you.
Really
so
appreciate
much.
it. Nice one. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Wow, what an amazing episode. I'm sure that you'll agree. Well, it was absolutely fantastic. I have laughed. I nearly got upset. I've had ideas. It's all happened here in the Spill It fold today. Next week on Spill It, I'm going to be speaking to, now this is a returning guest. He was part of a trio. He's now here on his own. It is Christopher, coming from the, if you remember the Growth House, he will be here. So Chris will be here. And the episode is called Big Strong Man, talking about toxic masculinity, talking about how men are made to feel a certain type of way, or they're made to think that they have to act a certain type of way and not allowed to talk about their emotions, about their feelings, etc. And Chris will be talking about his experience in toxic masculinity and all of those emotions that come with that. So make sure that you stay tuned for that next week. That is going to be absolutely an amazing episode. I absolutely adore Chris. So yeah, he's going to be on the show as of next week. My name is Marcus Wright. When I don't do this, I run a life coaching business called MW Coaching. It is a way for you to stand out of your own way if you're suffering with imposter syndrome, which is basically you feeling that you aren't worthy of praise, you aren't worthy of that promotion at work, you aren't worthy of the good things that happen in your life. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are worthy of it. You are worthy of those feelings and those emotions, and you are worth it. So if you want to get involved in that, all you have to do is head over to the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk, and you'll be able to be part of the MW coaching service that I offer. There you go. For more information on everything to do with Spill It, all you have to do, as I say, is just head over to the website. It's as easy as that, www.spillit.uk, and you'll be able to do things like support me and the work that I do here at Spill It. You'll be able to, as I say, see all of the upcoming guests, everything to do with Spill It, but you'll be able to support me. There are two different ways that you can support me on the website. The first one is by leaving reviews Okay, so you can leave reviews. There's links to all the different sites you can leave a review. 5 stars, please. You know, if you enjoyed it, 5 stars. If you didn't enjoy the show or you don't enjoy the episodes that I do, you know, just don't leave a review. Just go on by. You know, go about your day. Don't leave a review. I enjoy the 5-star reviews, as we all do. But yes, there are other ways that you can support me as well. You can join the official Patreon. That is, you become. Let me start that again. You can become an official Patreon by joining the Patreon account over on there, and you'll be able to become an official little teacup of mine, where you get access to bonus episodes. You'll be able to get extra discounts off merchandise, and you get a little postcard from me in the post, just saying, hey, what's up? What you up to? We get to have a little conversation. But yeah, all of that and more over on the official Patreon. It is just £2 per month. That is it. And also, you'll be able to buy merch. I've got loads of merch available. We've got Spill It beanie hats. We're into the winter months now as well. So you can get, you know, keep your little noggin warm by buying a little Spill It beanie. I've also got hoodies available, a little bit of merch. There we go. I'm repping one of the hoodies right now. You can get them. You can get t-shirts as well. All of that and pin badges and more over on the merch store. So make sure you go and check that out. If you've got any questions about tonight's episode, if you want to be involved in the Spill It episodes that we've got coming up, or you just want to, you know, give me a bit of a shout out or whatever, you know, feel free to email me, marcus@spillit.uk, and we can have a conversation over there. You know, feel free to. I'm happy about having a conversation with you. Do what you can. It's fine. And there we go. That's it. That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much to everybody at home for listening to this. And for those who are listening to this on the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in yet again to another episode of Spill It. It has been an absolutely amazing one. I'm sure that you will agree. And until we spill it again, it's bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Spill It. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Spill It goes live every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And a special thank you to these amazing teacups.